auf der Challenge Tour gewinnen können, ist die aktuelle Nummer 85 der Welt. Herzlich willkommen, Peter Jaques! Peter Jaques tritt an gegen die Nummer 13 der Welt, ein sehr, sehr erfolgreicher Pro-Tour-Spieler, der auch schon in einem Finale der European Tour stand, 2012 in Sindelfingen. Er kommt aus Stoke-on-Trent. Herzlich willkommen, Ian Diamond White!
Ah, the diamond dab. How I've missed it so. Still reeling here in Hamburg from Kim Huybrechts, missing 8 match darts, become the highest profile casualty of this weekend's tournament at the Happy Bet European Darts match play. Peter Hudson sensationally winning the last 4 legs to book his place in the final day of action. Now the diamond Ian White will be looking to avoid a similar fate as befell the hurricane Kim Huybrechts. He's taking on Peter Jaques, who is a very tough customer indeed. They have met once before, back in April. The diamond prevailed on that occasion, but needed a deciding leg to do so. He will be hoping for a similar result, but perhaps with a little less stress. Penultimate game of the afternoon session. Joe Cullen and Justin Pipe will round things off, but it's the diamond versus Jaques. And it's Rob Malarkey in the commentary box with me, Dan Dawson.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. I've got to say, Dan, Ian White, a finalist at the 12 Players Championship events 3 weeks ago in Milton Keynes, where he lost to Rob Cross. And Ian White, a man who has made the semi-finals on the European Tour this year as well. A man who's beaten Michael van Gerwen on the European Tour stage as well in 2017. 41. Peter Jaques, though, 6-5 against Chris Dobie yesterday, and a man who came within 1 win of taking a title on the Pro Tour early this year, despite the fact he doesn't hold a tour card.
100.
So an intriguing matchup between these two. Really thought we could go through the entire afternoon session without seeing a seeded casualty, but Kim Huybrechts has fallen by the wayside. What a fight back that was by Peter Hudson, but as you say, Ian White will be keen to avoid a similar fate here.
Great matchup this for fans of the golden hooped earring. I'm sure there are many of you.
I'm one of them.
Well, there you go. Rob Malarkey, Pat Butcher, Ian White and Peter Jaques.
Van Dijvenbode last night.
Well, that's quite the bangle.
$95.
Dave Chisnell or James Wilson awaits the winner of this one. Chizzy, the finalist in this tournament for the last couple of years. He's on the way this evening. The number 6 seed taking on the Jammy Dodger in the second match of the evening session. It's a very, very difficult part of the draw, this. We've mentioned it earlier on. 3 of the top 5 favourites at the start of the day are all in this quarter of the draw. 1-4-2 for Peter Jaques. Doesn't find the treble 14 he was after.
94.
Leaves himself 48. Yeah, very difficult portion of the draw, because not only do you have Mensur Suljovic, number 3 seed, Darryl Gurney and Dave Chisnell, as White looks to fill it up, but at least applies some pressure. Double 16 he wants. There it is, good stuff, nice clean kill from Peter Jaques. It is 1-0. Yeah, so you've got 3 of the 5 favourites for the title before play started today. Gurney has already won, of course. We'll see Mensur versus Dirk van Dijvenbode, Dave Chisnell against James Wilson tonight. But Ian White, who we didn't even mention in terms of being a potential winner. You know, we know what he's capable of. He won 3 Pro Tour titles last year. He's won 7 in total in his career. He's not claimed a Euro Tour title, but he has made a final before. That was a few years back. But he's been knocking on the door.
It's often the way. He is this sort of player that ducks under the radar. I mentioned that defeat by Rob Cross in the Players' Championship in Milton Keynes recently. White really had his chances in that one. He led 5-4. and missed the ball to claim the win in the 10th leg, and then squandered a further 4 match darts as well. You were there, of course, that weekend, Dan. And they all went begging in the decider, and Rob Cross, being Rob Cross 2017 mode, gobbled it up, and it was another indication of what a transition he had made from the Challenge Tour last year. So it could have been another ranking title for Ian White. It wasn't to be.
134.
And you just get the feeling with Ian White that, you know, he's one of the highest ranked players in the world. He's in the top 16. He's seeded 11th here. But he knows how to win titles.
59.
And if he wants to, say, make the Grand Slam of darts, one of the big TV events, you only do that by making the big TV finals. Now, Ian White, rather famously, has never got past the quarterfinals of a big TV event. But he could win one of these
quite easily.
Quite easily. And that would get him in the Grand Slam, almost certainly. He's not going to take out the 157, though, and Peter Jaques is looking at 54 for a 2-0 lead.
Yep, he certainly is, and Ian White will just have to watch his step here. 54 then for Jaques. Tops for a 2-0 lead.
44.
A bit of a let-off there for Ian White.
66.
Well, Ian White went treble 17 with his last dart in the last visit. Had he gone treble 19 and hit it, this would have been easier. But it doesn't really matter, because he's not going to lose any darts at a double. And he only needs the one anyway. 66 checkout, taken out very nicely. We've had a brace of very efficient checkouts in this match, but those 2 missed darts from Peter Jaques to take a 2-0 lead, they may come back and haunt him yet. Or they may not, you might just smash him up. For
Bruce Bray getting the chance to stretch his vocal cords once again. Ian White, though, one of only 2 players to beat Van Gerwen on the European Tour this year, with darts like this. Sun 40 in response, Peter Wright being the other. White made the semis in Saarbrücken when he beat Van Gerwen 6-1 in the quarters. Best performance in Europe since his run to the semis in Gibraltar last year. Made the quarterfinals of the UK Open earlier this year as well. Another quarterfinal.
Yeah, it should have been a semi though, shouldn't it? Going Price.
Score,
yeah. Taking out 160 after White had already mismatched darts. Should have had more, but busted his score. Hitting double 15 instead of double 10. Oh, look at this, Peter Jaques. It's 2 180s in this leg.
Yeah, motoring through this one.
43. Peter requires.
Well, no pressure on this, so Peter Jaques can go whichever route he likes. Treble 7, is it? Oh no, he's gone treble 11. Fair enough.
29. $96. Peter required 32.
So Jaques for a 2-1 lead. Won't want to mess about too much longer. Heads next door. And 2-1, he doesn't really lead. Yeah, I mentioned that Players' Championship final that he reached in the, well, it was the very first event of the year, the first Players' Championship in Barnsley. He made the final there, lost to Alan Norris.
80.
Despite the fact he doesn't have a tour card, he's invited to top up the field at various events whenever the chance may. He's actually made £11,000 from the Pro Tour this year, merely as a player who's standing in. Well, I mean, you've seen him here and there, haven't you?
Yeah, I saw him that very first Players' Championship, and to be honest, I'd seen his name. 45. I was at Q School for the final day. I'd not been there for the first 3 days. I went to see the culmination of it. I was checking the board and seeing who'd picked up points, and there was this name, Peter Jaques, that was right near the top, who'd played so well for the first 3 days. So I'll go and keep an eye on him, and then somebody told me he's not turned up, he's gone to play county darts for Yorkshire. Well, he's not going to get a tour card then, is he? But he'd already got enough points where he knew he was going to be right up there and getting invited to make up the numbers for Players' Championship. Because you've got players like John Part and Wham Bam Royden Lamb and Phil Taylor, of course, who's not going to be playing Pro Tour this year. So there's always places available. And yet he can still play the Challenge Tour. And so it's worked out rather nicely for Peter Jaques. And despite the fact he played so well over the first 3 days of Q School, I certainly didn't anticipate him going on a run all the way to the final. We have seen players win Pro Tour events without a tour card. Joe Mernon famously did it a couple of years back.
He was the last one to do it, yeah. Is he the only one to do it, or...?
He's the only one to my knowledge.
120.
But of course, we've only had the tour card system for a
handful of years, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, the 136 for the Diamond is not going to happen, and Peter Jaques has got a 114, and that is gettable.
96. Page, you require 114.
Well, this would be a damage-inflicting break for Ian White if Jaques takes this out, but it won't go.
82.
Interesting. Quite fancied the lie from that first dart to work his way into the treble 20, but in the end he leaves double 16, and that means that Ian White has to take this out. Which he does.
The fourth leg.
And it's 2 apiece.
Ian White, fifth leg, Peter to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, 11 grand on the Pro Tour this year, and also he picked up a couple of grand for winning a Challenge Tour event last month as well. This is his second European Tour event. He qualified for the German Open in Saarbrücken early this year too. He lost to Darren Webster in the first round there.
Yeah, well, although he's been playing darts for a very long while, Peter Jaques.
140.
Playing PDC darts week in, week out in, the darting meccas of Barnsley and Wigan and Milton Keynes. That takes some getting used to, but nowhere near as much as it does playing in front of several thousand people in Saarbrücken or here in Hamburg. And yet, he came through yesterday against Chris Dobie.
That was a good scalp.
It is a good scalp, although, to be fair, Chris Dobie did miss 4 match darts. 6 players we've seen eliminated this weekend having missed match darts, and they've missed a total of 27 match darts between them, including Kim Huybrechts missing the 8 in the game we've just watched. And you see the checkouts. Ian White taking out tops and double 18, first dart on both occasions. And that's a 180 for the Diamond, his first. 3 for the match in total. And a real opportunity for White to make his move and try and get a break of foe that will put him into the lead for the first time.
100. Here you require 121.
6 darts from here. Just a little look at the score there.
Just
Ian
to
White.
double check where he's sitting.
Yeah, so 6 or 10. Oh, we'll go, yeah, we'll go. 14 will do.
Double 16. Ian White was a second round casualty here last year. He
41.
went down at the hands of Max Hopp in round 2 here in Hamburg.
Yeah, Max Hopp went on to make the quarterfinals here last year, but no Germans making it through the opening round last night. Double 8 for Ian White, who's missed his first dart at double. That's a second dart missed. And that is bust his score, but if you're going to miss it, perhaps best to bust and leave double 16 again, but he's relying on Peter Jaques not taking out a massive one. Turns out he could rely on it.
And his reliance is rewarded.
90. Here you require 32.
First double again.
Moving left. Ooh. Bit of a mess.
The
last one finds its mark, and it is 3-2 with a break of throw, and Ian White's in the lead for the first time. The world number 13. Certainly the favourite for this match now, and he can count himself a little bit fortunate to be in that position, because Jaques could well have been 3-0 up in this game.
He's had his opportunities. White with the break. Looking to back it up here, though.
100.
As Dan said, Chizzy or Wilson in the next round for the winner of this one. Wilson it was who beat Ian White in the third round in Gibraltar last month. 6-3. Elsewhere, mentioned the semi-final in the German Open. Also a quarter-final appearance in the German Darts Championship at the start of the European Tour year in Hildesheim.
121. So a player capable of going deep here this weekend, but
as Dan said, he's in that tough segment of the draw. Mind you, you could argue they're all tough segments, but this in particular is littered with dangers.
It just seems quite an even section of the draw. There's no sort of dominant player who you think, well, he's definitely going to come through. You know, when you've got Ian White, Dave Chisnall, Darryl Gurney and Mensur Suljovic, all of those guys. I mean, the other, Dirk van Duijvenbode plays some decent stuff. James Wilson, obviously. 45. Peter Jaques here. Although, admittedly, he looks like he's about to go 4-2 down. He was the better player for the first 3 legs of this game. But, you know, the seeded players in there, it's very difficult to pick who's going to come through. There's obviously favourites, you know, Dave Chisnall and Mensur Suljovic would be the obvious favourites, but Darryl Gurney, you don't want to write that man off. He's got an excellent record against Mensur Suljovic and should have beaten him in Gibraltar.
34. You require 100.
But White has got 2 visits to see off a ton to open up a 2-leg gap. Doesn't need to go tops, which is why he stayed there. Had Jaques been on a finish, he might have looked at the tops, but he's scared there of going tops and missing out the board and end up just wasting dart.
A dart, yeah. Which is what we talked about with Alan Norris earlier on.
99. You require 40.
Double 10 for 4-2. Double 5 for 4-2. Double 5 is there. The diamond Ian White just easing away from Peter Jaques.
Game on.
But the job far from done.
Well, Jaques there really needed just to give himself a solid foundation in this 7th leg. And White's already maybe fancying his chances of just leaping all over that.
96.
And really applying some pressure. Just the 96.
$137.
More like it from Jaques. 2 trebles with his 2nd visit.
Advantage surrendered by the diamond there. Jaques is all over it like a rash.
121.
Well, will that final dart make a difference in the final reckoning in this particular leg? Has plenty of cushion here to work with, and once
83.
Again, Ian White not staying straight.
Yeah, it's a little bit loose
100.
in this leg, Ian White, but he knows that he's got that break of throw that he wanted. And a couple of holes of throw will be enough for him, but obviously he doesn't want to let Peter Jaques
100.
close that gap anymore. But Peter Jaques' turn now to have 2 visits for a 100 odd. Double 16.
86.
Postman will return.
Again.
83. Peter requires 16.
So to trim the deficit to 4-3. Anxious times if he misses this 2nd dart. You can see him just looking a bit jittery now.
Game shown the 7th leg.
Right in the top
Peter
corner.
Jaques. 8th leg, Ian to first.
Well, from the way it looked, the first one looked like quite a good miss, but the way he reacted,
He looked devastated.
Peter Jaques, yeah, he didn't like it at all, and in the end he's snuck it in the corner of that double 8 there, which suggests it looked a lot worse from where he was stood than it did from our camera angle, but he got the job done.
He keeps readjusting his glasses as well. I think I think that he keeps slipping, and well, as
wow.
I say that,
the 2nd time this weekend we've seen that 1-1 and a treble 1, and maybe Peter Jaques needs to adjust his glasses a little bit differently.
yeah, he's sweating a bit more down there. It's very warm. Well, it's warm up here with the heat rising up onto the gantry, but down on the stage it must be absolutely roasting.
134.
Well, if you're going to score 5, the last thing you want to hear Ross Bray say with the next visit, and your opponent's just been to the board, is 134, and he is absolutely smashing up the ones Peter Jaques.
78.
A little bit better, but Ian White has been given an absolute gift as he looks to go within a leg of victory and a place in the last 16 to face Chisnall or Wilson.
Yeah, 83 from 6 starts for Jaques, and Ian White compounding the misery with another significant visit to the board as well.
100.
Oh, nice and straight. That's a bonus. Ultimately not enough to worry Ian White in this leg, though. Certainly not now.
135.
Conventional route there, not looking at the 25, because with Jaques way back, you don't want to accidentally hit the
59.
ball and start leaving yourself little numbers that you've got to knock off 1s and 3s and 5s. Double 16, that's where you want it. Positively affronted by that miss.
Game shot on the 8th leg.
Sets things right though, and he is one leg away.
Peter to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, Peter Jaques needs to win 3 on the bounce here. He's looking a bit hot and bothered down on the stage, and once again he's really struggling to find trebles. He's found one with his final dart.
Well, at the very start of this match, Peter Jaques held throw, missed a couple of darts to break, and then held throw again. Now, he needs that sort of stuff, but he needs to take all his chances. But Ian White has got his tail up here.
140.
And I'm not sure how much more Peter Jaques has got left to give.
Not much by the looks of things here.
100.
Okay, again, he's found the trouble with the final dart, as he did with his first visit, so just about hanging in there here.
Ton 40 ton for the diamond, and the world number 13 is just 261 points away from a place in the final day of action once again on the European Tour. Kim Huybrechts, the only seeded player so far to have been knocked out, missing 8 match darts, 8 against Peter Hudson. Christo Reyes, Michael Smith, Mervyn King and Alan Norris all through, along with Darrell Gurney. The big names who've come here to Hamburg so far this weekend have made it through, apart
83.
from Huybrechts. It looks as if Ian White is going to join them. But can he get it done in this leg?
57.
Just the 57 for Peter Jaques, leaves 108, and White, a good set-up shot here, and he's got the match in the palm of his hand. Ooh.
85. Who do you require? 100.
Not what he was after, but it does leave a 2-darter. Needs a treble. Needs a treble. Does not get it. Sigh from Peter Jaques.
52.
He knows
56.
he's in danger. Treble 19 for double 18 for a 6-3 victory. Doesn't get the treble 14 he was after.
Peter require 52.
Now then, Peter Jaques, there is 0 margin for error here. And that is an error.
Well, he's got one dart then at tops. And
14.
well, that just sums up his afternoon so far, doesn't it?
40.
A real dog's dinner, that particular visit. The first dart was one that completely derailed him. And then he had the opportunity to rescue it with tops, and Ian White takes out tops instead. Shows the way, and Ian White, clenched fist, 6-3 winner against Peter Jaques. It's the end of the road for the postman from Huddersfield. And Ian Diamond White, well, at his moments, celebrates with a dab, and now can look forward to a meeting with either Chizzy or James Wilson in the 3rd round tomorrow. Given a helping hand to some extent there from Peter Jaques, especially in the latter stages. And the Yorkshireman bids farewell to Hamburg, and Ian White goes marching on tomorrow. Joe Cullen and Justin Pike in the final match of the afternoon session. That is on the way for you very, very shortly indeed. I will grab a quick word with Ian White now with Elmar Polter.
Ian White, die 11 der Setzliste. Ian, congratulations. There was a solid match, am I right?
Oh, do what? I played quite well, so you know, just got to keep going, haven't you?
Ian, people are always asking me, why are so many top players from Stoke-on-Trent? What's actually the reason for that?
It's the local leagues that we play in. And you can play every night. There's Super League, Tuesday nights, there's Wednesday nights, there's Mondays. There's every night you can play darts, and the standard's good. Even on the Challenge Tour, you know, the lads are there, and you know, it's a good town to live in.
But you know what? I was in Stoke last year, and we wanted to play darts, and you couldn't find a dart at a pub there. It was unbelievable.
You got to come to my house.
That's right.
Yeah, there's plenty of pubs there. You just got to know where you're going.
Okay. Good. See you tomorrow, Ian. Thank you very much. Ian White.